Check. Check. And a very pleasant good evening, and we welcome you to Ventura College for Ventura College Pirate Soccer here on the VC Sports Network. I am Jeff Stoynoff, very pleased to be joined by former Loyola Marymount coach and former coach for the Philippine national team, Joey Hoffman. And Joey, the Pirates welcome in the Santa Barbara City College Vaqueros as we are underway. This a familiar conference matchup between these two teams, and going back to last year, the Vaqueros are riding a 3-game unbeaten streak against the Pirates. They swept the matchups a year ago, so going all the way back to 2021 was the last time that the Pirates posted a win. They hope to change that trend here tonight as we're just underway in the first minute. The Vaqueros in the road white jerseys and the Pirates in the home black jerseys. The Vaqueros, in a quirk in the schedule, had an early bye in conference play. And so they have had a full week to prepare for this one. Good challenge from Elizabeth Micah, wins the ball for the Pirates here in the opening minute. Meanwhile, the Pirates got their conference schedule going with an impressive win up at Cuesta. That was a 5-1 win and a welcome sight for the Pirates, who've had some difficulty early in the season scoring goals, but they put 5 on the board, 3 by forward Andrea Ibarra against Cuesta, a team that certainly on paper the Pirates were strong favorites to win that game, but nonetheless a very solid performance, and Steve Hoffman happy about that, getting the conference schedule started, but figures to get a little bit tougher certainly here tonight against a Vaquero team that has won 4 of the last 5 Western State North championships, the Pirates winning the other one back in 2021. And what do you expect, Joey, in the early going for the Pirates here? How would you anticipate they'll come out here in the first several minutes?
They haven't really started games off too well, but so far they're looking pretty good. It's just going to be matchups. The other team's playing a 4-3-3. Santa Barbara's playing 4-3-3. Looks like Ventura College is playing a 4-3-3. These games are all, I know people talk about offense and goals scored, but it's all about defending, especially these games. You can't give them any simple chances. Ventura College looks decent so far, but the hard thing with this is you got to keep it up for 90 minutes, and Santa Barbara's got 1 or 2 players that are scoring quite a few goals, but it so far looks pretty good for them.
Vaqueros come in with a record of 4-2-2 on the season. The Pirates are 6-2-2, and again, Pirates with that 1-0 start in conference play. This the conference opener for the Vaqueros, who, again, draw that oddity in the schedule of having the bye on the opening night. So they get going here tonight. Both teams have challenged themselves early on. In fact, for the Vaqueros, the 2 losses have come to Chaffee and Mount Sac. That's number 2 and number 3 in the most current rankings in the 3C2A. So I suppose it's a little bit of good news, bad news. It's good news that it's taken the top teams to beat you, but the bad news so far for the Vaqueros is that when they've stepped up, they haven't been able to secure the win just yet under first-year head coach Alexander Zermeno. Meanwhile, our first corner.
Nice short corner. Get it in the box. Could be a goal. Oof.
Up and over the bar. So the shot too strong for a shot on goal. It comes from the Pirates here in the 4th minute.
Ventura College looks pretty good starting out. They're matching up well. It's almost like Santa Barbara's playing a little bit deeper, especially when they lose the ball. So it'll be interesting to see how the game ends up. And then in regard to the stand-ins and Chaffee and those types of teams, it's very hard in this league or City College. You pick up injuries along the way. You have players that aren't able to play, and it's a long season, especially just having the players for 2 seasons, not 4. It really makes a big difference on how the seasons end up.
Played out by Desire Lopez, and we'll have a throw-in coming from Elizabeth Ralph. Emily Ralph. And they'll battle on the near side and a steal. Chance for the Pirates. looking for Vargas on the lead pass, but Ralph gets there first. And she is content to play it out. Pirates will have a throw-in. It'll come from Desire Lopez.
They're starting out well because they're matching up higher up the field. So in the games that they haven't had chances to score goals, it's because the other team's been in their half the whole time. But they're stepping up and pressing on players, which allows them to stay in the other team's half for longer periods.
Looking for Ibarra and her first touch. Kirsta Gurney in goal for Santa Barbara, and the pass slips through where Merlos will recover for the Pirates. And Elisa Merlos, a returner from a year ago and one of the real talents on this Pirate squad, and a player that Steve Hoffman counts on to a great degree, both in terms of defensively but also on the quick transition to offense. And she is a multifaceted player for the Pirates. They'll swing it out to Ralph. Emily McGuire playing it forward. So far, haven't seen a lot as Riggs has that one poked away. Galindo giving chase, but she won't get there. Although it's going to belong to the Pirates anyway, so off of Santa Barbara, but not much of a penetration into Pirate territory here in the first several minutes for the Vaqueros, but obviously, Joey, that's a pretty familiar tactic. You go back to the Pirates' last game against Bakersfield, a frustrating night that saw them lose the game 1-0, but that first and only goal came in the 62nd minute for Bakersfield, and you have the decided feeling that the Vaqueros are content to feel out the Pirates a little bit early.
Yeah, I think they're just Santa Barbara keeps playing long balls through and they get picked off or they're too far. Ventura's really doing a good job of stepping up and pressing and making them play big. And if they can keep it in their half and just get a better options from the opportunities they get higher up the field, I think they'll do very well today.
Yeah, the Pirates lose Alex Tirado to graduation after she led this team the last 2 years with an astronomical 45 goals in that plan. And the Pirates come back this season a deeper team, a tremendous influx of talent into the program, but that presents a challenge from a coaching standpoint as well. A lot of players to work into the fold for Ventura. But one of the advantages that they also get out of that, Joey, is that a little more opportunity to play pressure. Steve Hoffman not afraid to bring that pressure, knowing that he has that deep bench that he can go to.
Yeah, they got a really good squad this year. It's like an overall good team. I just think it's going to come down to defensive organization as a team. But, you know, you talk about Alex, she would single-handedly win games with goals in games that, you know, maybe Ventura College didn't look as good, but she would create the goals. Whereas this year, I think you're going to see more team goals scored, and everybody has to step up. And sometimes when you have that one player, sometimes other players don't step up as much. So I think for this year's team, you know, they're stepping up quite well and progressing as the season goes on, and that's the most important thing.
Looking for another long pass played into space. Chasing it down, it's Placido, and played out. And the Vaqueros will have a throw-in coming deep in Pirate territory.
Yeah, they're dealing with the longer balls pretty well, and in the past, Santa Barbara would look to connect a bit more rather than go big, but it's interesting to see. Maybe they'll mix it up.
Quick challenge, and the Pirates win the ball. Looking for a long pass of their own. But the Vaqueros win it, and they'll switch the attack. Out to Ralph. Good pass from Emily Ralph. Riggs facing up on Yahira Ramirez, and it's Ramirez who is able to clear it back, but not all the way out. Ralph continues on the attack. A one-timer toward the middle, and Riggs can't get there.
Ventura's dealt with that attack pretty well, but it showed one of the center midfielders not tracking the player, so it leaves someone open, allowing them to get forward. But they still dealt with it overall pretty well. This is where Ventura College needs to get one or two players a little higher up the field so they can get out.
They'll play it short to Micah. But you see the other side of it early. Not a lot of pressure on the ball, at least not at this point, from the Vaqueros, content to let the Pirates take it back out toward midfield. Throw in coming. You see, in our 11th minute, no score. Pirate Soccer here on the VC Sports Network. Lob pass on the far side. And it's the Vaqueros winning the ball momentarily. And now they'll launch it completely clear. Pressure coming and a steal. Chance here now for the Vaqueros. Good job by Lopez to get back in.
It's funny because I was going to say to you, this is the type of game where free kicks or defensive errors can change the game or win you the game. Because it's pretty tight match right now. It's not too bad.
Well, that was Sophia Capoletti, who nearly had a golden opportunity, but couldn't completely control it before Lopez got there. And again, Hoffey talking about this Santa Barbara team and was concerned about the front line and spoke about Capoletti, saying that she is a concern because of her size and strength. She can control the ball, and that time Lopez was able to win the race and clear that one before Capoletti could get a shot dialed up.
These are the times Ventura needs to push players higher up the field. If they've only got one forward high, you don't want to have 4 or 5 people super deep because you allow them to keep coming at you.
And I go back to not a lot of pressure on the ball from the Vaqueros. And does it surprise you at any level that without that pressure, why not put some more players forward if they're not going to really be pressuring you, bringing it in?
Yeah, it's an interesting one because they've changed the head coach. So the coach that was there for quite a long time, he had his teams play definitely different compared to this. These guys have one forward stay high and everybody's kind of deep, which it could be beneficial, it could hurt you. But in those types of ones, if you can push numbers forward and not let them out the half, you're going to be successful at some point.
You saw freshman Bella Donnelly in goal for the Pirates, pressed into action with the injury to Isa Garcia, and they expect Isa Garcia, the sophomore, to return from injury any game now. There was some thought that she might be able to go tonight, but still nursing the injury. It's Donnelly who gets the call in goal.
That's when you want to press.
McGuire. And eventually they work it across.
It's interesting to see Sophia Capoletti drop back as deep as she did to get the ball because she's not really getting the ball too often, but that could play a difference in the two center backs if one steps too high or drops too deep.
Well, Elisa Merlo starts at that center back spot, but again, Steve Hoffman talked about the necessity to get her more involved in the attack, and she might make a fairly quick move from that center back spot.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of time just to get adjusted. I mean, when you're playing regularly, you just, things come a little bit easier. When you're not playing as much, it just takes you a little bit of time. And obviously, between the two center backs, communication is super important and getting used to who you're playing with.
Do you see much of an advantage for Santa Barbara in this situation that they didn't have a game on Tuesday?
Slight, but these games Ventura College knows you got to step up for. And interestingly for me, if you look in the first, we're almost in 15 minutes, I think Ventura College is looking better, stepping higher and pressing, whereas you kind of mentioned it, that Santa Barbara seems to be dropping a little deeper, which kind of surprises me.
The one-timer sent well over the bar as we wind toward the 16th minute. Well, for the most part, when you look at the scores, the Pirates have been a lower-scoring team so far this year.
It's just consistency for them. They've kind of changed different players playing forward, and sometimes you just need to go with, a group of 2 or 3 and just kind of stick with them.
The Cuesta result was the first time on the season that they had scored more than 2 goals.
Yeah, and I think some of the other teams in the conference and the league are getting better, but obviously some are at the bottom end of it. But there are other teams that are actually getting significantly better, I think. And
it seems like a Pirate staple year after year that they are going to play about as tough a schedule as they can put together. And I have the decided feeling in talking to him and the last few years that Steve Hoffman likes to get his team ready for late in the year when you're going to see the top teams.
Yeah, it's good to start out with having that top level competition, so you know where you kind of stand, and then you know what you have to work on to compete at that level. So I think it helps in having a balance of it as well. And right now, that's a great ball wide, but Ventura College is good.
Ibarra tries to center. It was Jillian Smith who couldn't get it on the right foot, and it's played out.
You could hear Steve Hoffman screaming at the refs.
and what was he talking about?
I think he wants a handball. The ball popped up and maybe potentially hit her in the hand, but he likes to get a bit loud on the sidelines, mate.
I can watch it. I can appreciate.
They'll play down for Smith one more time, but a good challenge. Sends that ball free.
And it's interesting, too, because I haven't heard much from the Santa Barbara coaches. They're just kind of standing and watching, and sometimes you step into a new job, and if you don't know what you're stepping into with some of these rivalries, maybe you're not prepared for it.
Yeah, and Alexander Zermeno has been with the program, but just since 2021. So not unfamiliar, but hasn't been at Santa Barbara City College for a ton of time.
Yeah, and when you're an assistant, it depends on what the head coach allows you to do. Sometimes you have a lot of input, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you want to do it differently. But I honestly, for the last 10 years, I see a big difference in Santa Barbara. And from all the talk before the game, I kind of expected a little bit more, to be honest.
It's Emily Ralph that will handle the throw-in. A lot of contact. And you see the strength of Sophia Capoletti. A couple of Pirate players go down, but they emerge with the ball. And they'll try to set something up. Just a couple of shots in this one either way. Well, as advertised, Joey. Said the defense would be the focus. Smith trying to play it to herself. The Pirates maintain possession. Vargas with the centering pass finds Ibarra coming off the hat trick. They lob into space once again.
This is where you want to get a corner or you want to get a cross.
Oh, good move by Vargas. Vargas fires into the box, but out. And there you see some of the skills of Crystal Vargas. Ibarra tries to get one on goal, but an easy play. And meanwhile, we have a Santa Barbara player down. Well, when we talked about Crystal Vargas with Steve Hoffman, that was the word he used to describe her, skillful. And you see some of the nifty footwork. And let's see if we can take you back and watch some of the work of Vargas. And that's a terrific move on McGuire. And not a whole lot there in front. as Vargas elects to take the shot from the tough angle. Once she was able to beat McGuire. Again, don't have a number just yet. They'll take their time.
And these are the types of things, too, that can affect the outcome of game. I think it's one of the center backs that are down, to be honest with you, and switching that, or if she needs to come off, that could play a difference in it, too. But I hate to say it, I think this game's going to come down to one or two mistakes individually, which is the worst thing you can want for a player because that obviously affects it for your team.
And so we do have a player heading off, and I believe if I caught the number quickly, it was Gisela Amaris Zermeno.
Yeah.
And so Zermeno will head off, and we will get back to play here shortly as she is replaced by Anna Kirk. Long kick and Capoletti bringing pressure. But a terrific play in traffic as the Pirates emerge with the ball. That was a play that could have been trouble.
That's the mistake I'm talking about. You want to head that ball, not turn your back on it.
And Lopez can't find it. Goes back to the Vaqueros. Contact from Lopez. And a whistle. Not a lot of fouls early as Karina Mendoza went down, gets the call. It's McGuire that will handle the kick.
What the fuck is...
And it looks like a conversation happening over on that. Is that the Pirate bench?
Now, the Santa Barbara coaches complain about getting the soccer balls. I mean, as a coach, sometimes you got to pick and choose when you want to complain to a ref.
Top of the box. Sent out.
Oof.
Chance here. Ibarra nearly controlled. McKay plays it across. They look for the long pass once again. It's a foot race, but Donnelly will move out.
Alondra Sanchez is doing really well on that side. She read that really well. It could have been dangerous if she wouldn't have recovered as quick as she did.
Ramirez nearly won it, played back. Marilos, Micah, and Galindo. And the Pirates want to push. Vargas, center ball. Again, they look for
What a ball.
shot in space. The center, no good. They wanted Ibarra, but the Vaqueros able to send it clear. Like Aguilar had a chance. And a free kick coming for the Pirates.
Too far.
Over the crossbar.
Those sometimes are your chances that you might not get. And the reality is that ball's got to be in the box, bouncing kind of by the penalty spot or at least on target.
Yeah, is there any thought there to taking a shot from that range on goal, or is that likely just a ball that is intended to go more into the box and just an overshoot?
I think she was probably shooting it, but if you're going to score from that distance, you got to put it in the top corner, which is difficult from that distance to do. To me, you just put it in the box and you load players up and you see what can happen.
McGuire with the left foot. Pirates want to quickly go back on the attack. Vargas trying to win the race. Now it's Ibarra, but played clear. Mendoza able to clear it out. But you have the feeling that the Pirates have largely controlled time of possession.
I think they can keep this up. I think they'll get a goal in the next 10, 15 minutes. But Santa Barbara's got to get control of the ball. They just keep losing it too soon and going big.
Well, you made the point earlier of looking for the long pass, and is there a little bit of home run quality for that where you recognize that it's low percentage, but you're looking for that one through ball perhaps that breaks through?
Yes and no, because Ventura College have an extra player at the back, so if you just drop off, you win that. And you're seeing Sophia Capoletti checking back, which it's kind of like I said, it could be a positive because she gets the ball to turn and run at you, but then it could be a negative because you got less players up top, and she at times is their only forward.
Perhaps an ill-advised pass from Lopez and a turnover. And Vaqueros continue to work on that right side, but can you make the point? Well defended by Alondra Sanchez throughout this first half.
This is probably the best defensive, play that I've seen Ventura College. I've seen them play 4 or 5 times this season, and they're pretty organized. And they're figuring out what they need to defend against, and they're doing a decent job of it.
Sanchez continues to battle.
The hard thing is these are those types of games where Santa Barbara right now could get a throw, have a long throw, and get a goal, and just totally against the run of play. But that's why, obviously, soccer's a great game to support and watch because you never know what will happen.
Looking for the center. Played into the box, and a one-timer partially blocked out front. And Donnelly, I can't tell if that was a partial block or maybe a partial whiff because it's going to belong to the Pirates.
I think it was a full-blown whiff.
Well, I saw a little forward momentum there. I was willing to give partial on the whiff, but
yeah, it's nice to be important, but it's important to be nice.
They'll battle at midfield. Skips by Capoletti. And that was closer to a full whiff. Pirates will continue to work, and some nifty work by Lopez to play it to herself and buy the Pirates some time to set up defensively here in the 29th minute. Well, we've seen the Pirates looking to play balls into space on their attack here in the first half on a few occasions. And is that something that you see something that's well set up for that kind of attack, or is that a little bit of a preference for the skill set that you have with your players?
I think they've done a better job of getting players higher up the field, which then allows you to play those passes. I think in the past games when they haven't scored much, there's only been one, kind of a little bit like Santa Barbara up top. And so it just gives you more options to play, and it's been pretty good. But the hardest thing sometimes for teams is that final third, the quality of a cross or a shot or a run. And that's going to be sometimes the difference in obviously winning and losing.
Throw in coming. Double comes quickly, but Vaqueros will keep the ball. Substitution coming for Santa Barbara here in the 30th minute. As it's Abby Riggs that will check out for Santa Barbara, and they're, in the words of the late great football coach Hank Stram, they're matriculating the ball up the field with a series of throws on the far side.
Would they be considered matriculators?
Well, they were there.
It's a good word.
Yeah, I think Hank Stram probably threw him off a little bit when he was able to drop it in on the sideline.
These are the little ones. You can't let them turn. You still got to press and make them play backwards.
Kirk plays it wide. Vaqueros keeping the ball.
Oof.
Kirk wants to switch the attack, but nobody home.
Well, that was a big switch. You know, the funny thing, though, is they get the outside back involved. And when Santa Barbara's gotten more numbers forward, they look way more dangerous. It's just they're kind of sitting back at times, which is interesting.
And as this first half has gone on, I have the sense that the Vaqueros are becoming a little more comfortable with the idea of sending more players forward.
Yeah, you grow in confidence sometimes, and sometimes it's the game and the occasion. I think both teams understand these are the types of games that decide who wins the league.
Well, it can so quickly change. And just as you've talked about here in the first half, one mistake can completely change the tenor. Smith has that one blocked at the point. Ralph playing it out. They'll chase it down on the far side, and it will belong to Santa Barbara. Right back to the Pirates.
Love to see a goal just before halftime. Perfect timing right now.
Well, there's a bit of wisdom from the game of basketball that the most critical time in a game is the final 5 minutes of the first half, first 5 minutes of the second half. Is that something that you find carries over where the later stages of that first half is so important to keep your focus?
Yeah, I think it definitely does. And then in soccer, more specifically, it's the first 5 minutes after a goal scored is when you want to lock things up. But right now, I think it definitely is. And that clearance are the type of things that unfortunately could give you a throw in high enough off the field. You play it back to the thrower, they put it in the box, and you score. And it's a tough one because it's just little mistakes and focusing on the ball.
Yeah, Gabby Wilcox with a chance there, but sent it right back out, and the Pirates pick up what could be some important territory with a throw-in coming now close to the top of the box.
I think some of it, too, might be substitutions, and like you kind of mentioned, the depth on the bench. It'll be interesting to see. It looks like Santa Barbara's going to make 2 more changes.
Wanting to keep it low. Smith trying that end line. And will we have our second corner? It looks like we will. So a chance for the Pirates. They had one very early, but elected to play it short. Talk a little bit about what goes into the decision between playing a corner short versus looking to play it well into the box.
Sometimes it's the players that you've got and how they strike a ball, and you want to pull somebody out from the middle. But sometimes, to me, you just want to put it in a dangerous area because if you put enough numbers in there, it's very hard to actually challenge for the ball. So it could be a combination. You worked on some at practice.
This one into the box, and the header sent away. That was a great opportunity.
Yeah, we
And-
need VAR. That might have crossed the line, mate.
Well, look, we're trying to improve our hardware here. It's at the VC Sports Network. Okay, we're working on it. I couldn't quite tell. It looked like that might have been Emily McGuire. I want to say that ball was cleared by one of those back defenders, perhaps saving a goal shot on goal and a play for Gurney.
Yeah, in Santa Barbara, you don't want to be defending in your box on a free kick because you're allowing the other team to step up. You want to be on the edge of the 18.
So the Vaqueros narrowly avert trouble here late in the first half. And we carry on, scoreless. McGuire sets up a foot race. Mendoza can't win it as Merlos closes quickly. That was a good look at the speed. Merlos from that center back spot. Able to get there first, and that will allow the Pirates to set up defensively. As now it's the Vaqueros with a look in Pirate territory. Good challenge. Looked like Lopez cleared it out once again. Talked about Sanchez at that left back spot, but Lopez also been very active at the right back. That is good touch. But the pass from Vaca off the mark. Wilcox with a pass that gets away. Figure to have a good couple minutes of stoppage time here at the end of the first half.
Yeah, it's funny in soccer. They don't normally add that much time in the first half. It's normally at the end. Maybe a minute.
Pirates again content to play out and set up defensively. And for all the talk of depth, Joey, I get the feeling that we've seen more Santa Barbara players coming in here in the first half.
Yeah, I think there's a difference between making subs because you don't think you're playing well, and I think with Ventura College you might not want to make subs because you've been pretty solid.
Looked like Lucia Fleck, who had checked in, had a chance in the box, but the shot just wide. Yeah, there's the fatigue issue or that, and then I suppose there's also the issue of just still searching for the right combination.
Yeah, and I think for Santa Barbara it's probably more personnel. Maybe mixing things up because they don't think they're doing as well, getting out of their half.
They battle at the 40. Still loose. Now a chance for the Pirates. Hard drive for Smith. Leaves it out for Vargas. That one poked free. On the end line and going back to Ventura as Smith challenges her opposite number, Athena Raylan Bo Graham, who has come on as well for Santa Barbara. Well, both these teams certainly bring a good amount of depth. Ibarra, who's been relatively quiet. See the defensive pressure coming from Stella McKay. But it ends up at the feet of Micah. Smith battling Ralph. And it will belong to Santa Barbara. 39th minute. Smith trying to split the double team. Still on the drive.
This could be dangerous.
Yeah, let's see what the call is here. Smith is still down, and the card come out. either way, the foul call here is going to give the Pirates a very good opportunity here in the 40th minute. But right now, looking at their fallen teammate, Jillian Smith, and we will run a replay very quickly here and watch here some of the work by Smith. And we'll see if we can get this one down at field level as well. I believe I misspoke. That might have been Vargas. Again, apologies. But the work was good, and it produces a great chance for the Pirates here in the 41st minute. And will they elect to take the shot here as they did before? And they are going to try for the shot, and it's up and over the crossbar.
Well, that's what did you call it? A whiff? You got to take, when you're taking those free kicks, you got to hit it, drive it at the wall at least, head height, give it an option. But floated, I almost said farted, floated into the box is going to be tough.
So it's the Vaqueros who have managed to sidestep a couple of strong potential attacks for the Pirates here in this first half. And the Pirates still on the attack here, looking for Ibarra. And the challenge from McKay. This one going to be back to Santa Barbara.
He likes to blow his whistle multiple times, the ref. This could be dangerous.
Late stages, first half. Long pass. Micah going to get there first. And it looked like able to play it off of Santa Barbara.
Ventura backs have done really well dealing with some of these passes in behind, but I just think Santa Barbara has to kind of think about when they're successful, they can make passes and they get numbers higher up rather than kicking it big.
Yeah, I thought that was off of Jordan Briner. And I believe it is. And I think Elizabeth Michael is, in all likelihood, just looking to buy some time for the Pirates, but ends up playing it off of Briner. And wins the ball for the Pirates. And the matriculation begins, Joey.
Little matriculators around there, mate.
Smith in the middle. Too strong and out of play. Wanted to get it back to Smith. Strong challenge, but the whistle comes in. It was Aguilar bringing the pressure, but picks up the foul. Feel the Pirates, if it stays at no score here heading into intermission, Pirates leave with a measure of momentum or a measure of frustration that they haven't been able to break through on a couple of chances?
I think sometimes in this game, when you can stay near the team's half more and you create more chances as a player, you feel better. I think if you know, like, for example, with Santa Barbara, they might have had maybe 2 or 3 shots, maybe. whereas I think Ventura's been in their half quite a bit. So you go on it with some confidence and feeling good about yourself for the second half, whereas Santa Barbara, maybe they're going to, get into the players a bit and try and get them up the field and make adjustments.
Quick throw in from Ralph. Vaqueros looking for something late. That one blocked at the point.
That's a foul.
No call coming. But the Pirates ultimately win possession anyway. Looking for a cross. Back out, but not all the way. They'll battle on the far side. Pirates amping up the pressure here late in the first half, trying to generate one more chance. We are into extra time. Bo Graham with the long pass. Still not terribly effective for the Vaqueros. They try to hook it long, looking for Vargas. Now out into space. Lopez on a hard drive, but Mendoza with a good challenge. That may be enough to bring the whistle. Have had a couple of stoppages, though, so we could go for a little bit. Ramirez Smith.
That's a foul.
Cutting left, and boy, oh boy. That is going to draw a definite call and one more chance here for the Pirates, perhaps the last one here in the first half. And let's take a look. Let's see if we can bring it down to field level here, because there's a notable shove. Yeah, Bo Graham on Smith. Well, we've seen the Pirates take a couple of shots from around this area. Will they continue with that as the plan? Yeah, Harry Ramirez. And they fake. I'm not sure what the call was there. Looking to slide it through to Merlos, but that is a terrific play by McGuire.
Not so tricky, trick play. Sometimes you need to put the ball in the box and save the acting for the actors,
Well, just that close. As McGuire just got that poke check free.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to be honest. They've had 3 or 4 free kicks in good areas, and not one of them has been put into the box.
First half in the books. Here from Ventura, no score. Ventura, Santa Barbara. You are watching Ventura College Soccer here on the VC Sports Network. Start of the second half from the VC Sportsplex. Ventura College Soccer here on the VC Sports Network. No score. Santa Barbara and Ventura. And Joey, you're put you on the spot here a little bit on the Pirates. What adjustment do you like to see, or what do you expect as they come out here in the second half after a scoreless first half?
They've got to be more dangerous with free kicks and corner kicks. You've got to put them in the box. You can't miss. Once or twice out the back, they've got to clear the ball bigger. And then I think defensively they've done really well and just a bit better in the final third. But overall, a good performance so far.
Yeah, this was a game that went to Santa Barbara in both meetings last year, a pair of 3-1 wins for the Vaqueros en route to a Western State North championship for the Vaqueros.
I think both teams would take a tie potentially and then leave it up to other results. It's not a bad result in this game, but I think Ventura probably deserved maybe a 1-0 lead right now.
You don't want to read too much into any kind of home field advantage, but the Vaqueros, you imagine, making the trip here to Ventura, they can come away with a tie. They've still got that matchup where they will have the comforts of home later on in the season.
Yeah, and I think their field's maybe a little narrower, and maybe a little bit shorter, so people are on you a little bit quicker. But those away games do play a bit into it, I think, especially on a Friday night.
Throw in coming for the Pirates as the team switch ends. They try to lob looking for Smith. One timed into the box and cleared out. Another chance for the Pirates.
Jesus.
And a collision again as it looked like Capoletti bearing down on Micah. And there's the yellow card for Capoletti.
It's kind of a silly card to get, but it's also a good card to get because you let the center back know you're not messing around.
Now, Micah slowed up there, and it was hard to tell if that was as that ball was heading out of bounds or if that might have been a little bit more an effort to bring a little bit of contact, maybe see if they could get a call.
Yeah. She was just trying to shield it and let it go out, but like I say, sometimes the forwards, you want to do that.
Vargas looking for Ibarra in the middle, and Ibarra giving chase, ultimately wins the ball. Pirates maintain. Galindo started a move, and the shot from way out front from Vaca hooked it left.
I think that's called wishful thinking, mate.
Well, they've showed no compunction about pulling the trigger from pretty far out.
Yeah, I think you can do it when the ball's rolling to you, back to you. You get a bit more power. But that one is in a bit of an awkward position.
Is there any sense in which continuing to try and press forward and get a shot closer has a danger in terms of overextending on offense and leaving yourself open to a counter?
Yeah, I think from that position, if you're going backwards, you could always play it to a back who plays it big and puts it back in when you got numbers up the field. But in that kind of area, you just want a little bit more, you know.
Because it seems like the Pirates are settling for shots coming from pretty far out.
Yeah, I don't think they've really tested the goalkeeper, except for the one off the cross, the corner kick.
Good anticipation from Capoletti, and the throw will come once again from Sanchez.
And it's interesting because Ventura College has been in this half because of Santa Barbara playing a short goal kick. You know, there's times when you just kick it wide and big to an outside forward to relieve pressure.
Trying to drop it short, looking for Aguilar. Pirates still have it. They continue to surround Ibarra, who's able to get the cross into the box, and the shot off the left foot for Lopez is just wide. The Pirates generate another chance here early in the second half. This one appeared to be in some trouble, but there you see Vargas with the good cross. And Lopez just couldn't get it dialed up.
That came from the goal kick playing short again.
Bring you back live. Pirates dominating the action here early in this second half. Micah battling Cappelletti, and Cappelletti with a little push, able to get it. Now it's a 2-on-2. Hard drive, and Merlos able to clear it out.
She's done pretty well today, pretty consistent with the timing of the tackles and playing the ball and timing of the runs to get behind the defender.
And we'll take one more look at it. And that was Placido on the dead run, and Merlos does a good job of playing it out, taking away any opportunity for a shot on goal. And Santa Barbara, to your point, Joey, about how well the Pirates have played defensively, it's hard to remember many shots on goal, if any, in this one.
They had a little flick in the first half, which was a decent look at goal, but it was off target.
Merlos, long pass ahead, and it slips through to Mendoza. Looking for the quick counter. Sanchez will clear it away. Ball in the box. Placido
Good save.
trying to get a foot on it, but Bella Donnelly moving out. Good anticipation from the freshman Bella Donnelly.
You got to be brave in those situations. I would never play goalie. I don't want people kicking me in my face.
Smith looking for Ibarra. Vargas can't get there in time, but the Pirates still on the attack. Centering pass from Ibarra. Knocked away, but maintained, and Ibarra lobs for the front of the goal. Easy play for Gurney. McGuire. You see Lopez coming up with the attempt at the steal, and it'll belong to Santa Barbara. Minute 53. Well, this is our first look at the Pirates here on the VC Sports Network. But you have the feeling that this pretty well encapsulates what the season's been like so far for the Pirates. They've been solid defensively, but haven't been able to cash in on a couple of chances offensively. Smith goes down, no call coming. And now a possible counter. Cleared all the way out.
Santa Barbara's starting to find some spaces, and you got to think, do the subs impact how you come out?
Cappelletti with the cross. A race with Donnelly, who can't come up with it cleanly. Galindo, the first to get there, back out to midfield. Now the Pirates with the possibility of a quick counter.
Too predictable.
Pass from Vargas, a little bit behind Aguilar.
Can hear the coach from Santa Barbara shouting, relax. I think he's smart. If they start to knock the ball around, it'll be a lot harder for Ventura to defend.
Yeah, the Pirates seem to be pretty consistent with bringing that pressure on the ball. Does Alex Armeno possibly detect that if they try to amp up the pressure that they're bringing, is that pass a little too strong, that could be playing into what the Pirates want to do?
Yeah, no, I think when they start to play too, it's harder to stay with a man to mark like right here we see. If you play those passes, but the longer ball is very predictable and easy to defend against.
Pass from Bo Graham finds Capoletti, and now she'll get it back. Steal for Galindo and Aguilar. Looking for a lane. Zermeno able to poke it free.
Ventura College is getting a little bit lucky now because they're letting players run in behind them. They win that header, and if that's over the top, they're in big trouble.
Seen a few touches here in the first 10 minutes of the second half for Capoletti. An adjustment perhaps from Santa Barbara to try and get the ball at Capoletti's feet, even if they have to move a little bit further out to do it?
Yeah, I mean, she's a good player. You want to get the ball to her feet so she can turn and maybe run at people or play it underneath and spin off. And you can see they're getting numbers higher up the field even now.
Aguilar with a little cutback. Now finds Galindo. Galindo will track it down, followed by Placido. And the centering pass finds a white jersey. Kirk. And Placido will play it back. Another steal. Blocked at the point. Aguilar trying to keep it, but Mendoza sends it all the way out. Merlos will retreat.
Be interesting to see if EC makes a couple of subs in the next 5-10 minutes.
Ramirez tries to thread it through, and it ends up with Ibarra. Coming off the hat trick, Ibarra moving left. Smith. Ibarra with the one-timer on goal, but Gurney there.
She got to use her laces on that, let it roll across her body. It was a good effort, though.
Well, not a lot of time to get the shot off, but online for Gurney, who's coming off the big game, but seems to be drawing a good amount of attention on that back line from Santa Barbara.
Yeah, she's doing a good job. I only question, like I say, once you get around the 65th minute, is can Ventura College keep up the pressure and you know, win the ball back?
They want Ibarra again, but Gurney with good anticipation. Of course, fans of Santa Barbara well aware of the departure of Analia Poole. Apologies if I'm mispronouncing that name. The back-to-back winner of the Western State Conference Goalie of the Year, who departed as a sophomore a year ago, but this is a Santa Barbara team that has been playing great defense and, in particular, getting great goalkeeping. Certainly in the last couple years as well. We mentioned the 4 out of 5 Western State Championships.
They've been doing well, and they get some foreign players too. But I mean, if you think about it, you want to go to City College, would you like to live in Santa Barbara, potentially Isla Vista? That's a big seller.
Yeah, I've had the opportunity to cover one game at Santa Barbara, covering the American football, and man, some kind of view.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place.
It's in the press box, but great view of the ocean right there in front of you. It's pretty spectacular. So I'm sure that doesn't hurt recruiting much.
Yeah, and winning helps with everything.
Placido on the run, but runs out of space. Throw in coming for the Pirates from Lopez.
See, Santa Barbara's gone with 3 backs to match up against the 2 forwards, which is allowing them to push another player higher up the field, which then is helping them get higher up the field more often.
Pirates pick up a little territory on the throw-in. Lopez one more time. Looking for Aguilar. Riggs had it momentarily. Galindo trying to win it, and now it's a foot race. Marilos
She's been brilliant tonight.
able to win the ball and get it to Galindo. The Pirates still on the attack. Not content to simply play it out. That's a great play from Elisa Marilos. Savannah Sprinkle making her first appearance. Looking for Ibarra in the corner. Wilcox able to win the ball.
Corner there.
Interesting to see Sprinkle at this time, but perhaps predictable. Very hard-nosed player, and also a member of the track team in the 100 meters. And so extremely fast, plays extremely hard, and is this, in all likelihood, an energy move from Steve Hoffman to bring in a player that's going to perhaps change that dynamic?
Yeah, and maybe playing a little bit more direct and having a run on to things.
Long pass. Fleck battling Marilos. Marilos able to get it back out to midfield where Santa Barbara will keep it. Fleck circling right. Able to maintain through the double team and now pushes it out. Counter coming. Looking for Ralph. And Micah retreats and plays it out. Might be as good an attack as we've seen from Santa Barbara here in the second half. Couldn't get the shot, but Micah did have to just play it out to allow the Pirates to set up.
This game is dying for a goal to make it a little bit more exciting, because right now people at home might be falling a little bit asleep, to be honest with you, mate.
Well, so long as we don't lose you, Joey.
Yeah, I'm good. I've been through these things plenty of times.
Well, you just have the feeling as you watch the game that both teams seem so focused on not allowing that opportunity. You said it moments ago, and I think it's becoming more and more prescient with each passing minute, that both these teams might be starting to think a tie is not going to be the worst result here.
Yeah, sometimes you get to a point where you play not to lose, right? So there's a difference. You're playing to win, you're attacking, you're throwing numbers forward, and obviously fatigue sets in around this time. I think this subs could make a difference in it, but I go back to free kicks, fouls, and potentially an individual mistake play a big part.
And that's an area where the Pirates have had a big advantage. They have had, I want to say, 4 free kicks in Santa Barbara territory and really don't have a whole lot to show for it so far here tonight.
Yeah, they're about as deadly as a spoon on the free kicks, mate. I mean, the reality is you got to put it in a dangerous area.
Well, I don't want to get into how lethal a spoon can be, but I'm with you on your general point.
I mean, maybe if you're in prison.
Meanwhile, we have a whistle and perhaps right on cue, an opportunity coming for Santa Barbara as the free kick will come inside the 20, so this not far outside the box.
Yeah, it's a good distance. Ventura College needs to make sure they don't drop too deep.
They'll set up the wall.
I don't think you need 3 or 4 in that wall, unless it's David Beckham. They're just going to play the ball where they should, which is landing by the penalty spot right in the middle for people to crash the box and run into.
And Zermeno will take the kick.
And VC's giving them a direct channel to that. They need to tuck a player in the straight pocket of space. I hate to be right, but this worries me. Oh.
Lobbing for the far post and well wide of the mark. And
she's been watching VC free kicks. Both teams, you got to look at it in the game at the highest level. Free kicks win games or cost you games, and both teams need to do a better job.
Well, it's been more of the story tonight. We've seen a couple of corners, but, a struggle in the set pieces. Sarmento off the left foot. The long pass comes back out. Ramirez tries to put it at the feet of Smith. Good closeout coming from Bo Graham. Lobbing for the box. Merlos well positioned. Long run. And Sprinkle's got speed, but not that kind of speed. And a little more urgency coming out of their own end for Santa Barbara. And still scoreless. Riggs.
He might need to make a sub in the midfield because they're starting to lose the ball in that middle area.
See if that enters. Hoffy's thinking. Fleck. One-on-one with Merlos. Looks to retreat.
There'll probably be a yellow card when the ball goes out of play.
And what'll bring that?
One of the Santa Barbara players kicked the ball and got fouled pretty bad afterwards. But the ref let the play go on.
Braylon Bo Graham has that one blocked at the point. They'll jostle as that one heads out of play, and it'll belong to Santa Barbara.
You see that, those little mistakes, right? Savannah Sprinkles has the ball. She looks to play back and plays it to the forward who gets a quick attack. Unfortunately, in these types of games, it's going to come down to one or two mistakes, and the team that can be consistent could potentially win the league. Oof.
Looking for the bicycle.
That was more of a tricycle, mate. You got to get your feet off the ground.
Well, it was on goal, but Bella Donnelly
It was
right
a good
there.
effort. You got to give her that. It was a good effort.
Well, sometimes maybe you need to develop the tricycle before you go to the bicycle.
Yeah, you got to
That's
take the training wheels off.
There's a certain wisdom to it.
There is, mate. And on turf with like a solid floor, that's going to be painful if you actually do it. I do think right now Santa Barbara's outnumbering VC in the midfield, and it's causing them problems when they transition.
Ibarra battling Ralph, and it's Ralph who wins it. Now Placido will try to play to herself, but you really get a sense of both the talent but also the experience of Merlos. Reacts well to that attempt by Placido to create space, plays it to herself, and gets there first. Just good anticipation.
She's been the best player on the field so far. A couple of other players are doing well, but she's big time saved VC from potential goals against.
And the concern was coming in for Ventura was that front line, and specifically the strength of that front line in the box. And that's where Elisa Merlos becomes so important at that center back spot. And she has been tremendous.
I hate to say I'm psychic, but VC just made a sub in the midfield.
Well, I'm not surprised.
You see that, mate? I'm
Long
smarter than I
pass.
look. Ooh.
Heavy collision. Ibarra trying to ward off the double team. They'll play it ahead looking for Smith.
Ooh, handball.
Nearly a handball. And now a whistle does come in. And a chance here for the Pirates with a free kick coming.
I'm just hoping one of the assistant coach read the text I sent him at halftime, mate. Santa Barbara should never have a player on the back post right now, which keeps the whole VC team onside and allows you to put a ball right in front of the goalie. It's the worst decision you could make as a coach. And another ball.
This one almost squirts free. It's still loose in the box. Pirates with a chance. blocked at the point. It's still loose. Ibarra trying to get a foot on it, but can't. And the one-timer just wide.
Bit of excitement.
Oh, my. About 3 opportunities in there for the Pirates.
I got to go back to what I said, though. If that player was on the edge of the box, there would be no one to pressure the goalie.
Ibarra had a chance, and we'll watch this one more time. After it squirted away from Gurney, there's a turnaround, and then Ibarra right there, but it's cleared out, and then one more chance. Looked like Vargas coming in late. And give Santa Barbara a lot of credit. Continuing to battle right at the mouth of the goal. It wasn't all Gurney. And they were able to ward off the attack. Keep it scoreless. Some trouble now for Donnelly.
She is so lucky, it's insane.
And it looks like we might have a Santa Barbara player down.
That's the type of mistake in a game like this. If she doesn't slip, she blocks it, and it's a goal, and you lose.
Let's see if we can take one more look as everybody is up. Was that Riggs, perhaps? Watch here. This is one played back, and no, it's Mendoza. Excuse me. It's Eden Lazarus. And nearly a painful giveaway for the Pirates. Lazarus remains in the game after going down on that attack, but appears to be well enough to continue, and the Pirates will have a throw-in here in the 72nd minute. A little tougher going here tonight for the Pirates than the 5 goals they came up with on Tuesday en route to the win. Aaliyah Flores on. Ralph trying to split the double team. Clean steal for Ramirez. Playing it ahead. Ibarra trying to slip that one back, looking for Flores. It's out off of Santa Barbara.
It's interesting because I think Santa Barbara's been a lot better in the second half, but VC's created 1 or 2, semi-decent looks at goal. But that is not going to help you, kicking the ball big out of bounds.
Fleck giving chase, but Merlos there first, and Merlos will let that one head out of bounds. Goal kick coming. Well, it's not going to be a incredibly long highlight reel, but certainly the drama will amp up here in the final 17 minutes in a scoreless game, and we've talked about the necessity of avoiding a critical mistake, and the stakes only go up here as we enter the 74th minute. And will one mistake on either side ultimately tell the entire story here tonight?
I think you probably see quite a few defensive highlights, but as you mentioned, not too many attacking.
They continue to battle. Sanchez and Ralph played out. It'll belong to Santa Barbara. We'll be back on the VC Sports Network November 3rd. That's a Friday. Another steal. Chance for the Pirates developing. Flores trying to win the ball and does, off to Ibarra, who goes to the left foot. Well, the pressure reaps rewards once again, but not the ultimate reward, as Ibarra gets another look, but misfires.
Santa Barbara keeps playing short for the goal kicks, and it's going to cost them.
Yeah, here it's Flores. And Flores with good work, winning the ball once again. And Ibarra with just that fraction of a second to get that shot off and fires it over the crossbar.
And this also came from a goal kick, them trying to play out. You get to a point where it's 0-0 and you've got to decide, do you want to look pretty and play out, or do you want to be effective and not lose? Because sometimes that can cost you the game.
Third corner tonight for the Pirates. Meanwhile, haven't seen a corner for Santa Barbara.
Good ball.
Into the box, Gurney. With Sanchez bearing down.
She's dropped a couple of them.
Gets a little more air on the goal kick this time, as the Vaqueros having all kinds of trouble getting it out of their own end. Lazarus will play it back. Looking for space once again. Merlos sends it out. Pirates will set up. Fast-moving second half into the 76th minute.
Santa Barbara's definitely made more subs. Maybe that's helping with some of that energy.
Throw in coming for Aline Wilson. Sanchez, Ralph battling. Wilson looking for the cross. And Donnelly there with Capoletti bearing down.
She's done really well with her hands, but with her feet, she's got to do a little bit quicker and better.
And Steve Hoffman talking about the freshman Bella Donnelly. Said that a lot of the strength comes from good size at that keeper spot. Said it's a good shot stopper. And she flashed that there with a shot on line. Placido on the run. Lopez giving chase. Wants the cross. Looking for Capoletti. Ricocheted back out, but Placido sent it wide. Let's watch one more time.
She's starting to win that matchup on that VC's right side, the left side. She's got a good change of speed, and she's running at her.
Looked like Desire Lopez, who has played a long stretch here tonight.
Yeah, she's done well, but when you're dealing against that speed, it's tough to keep up with it.
Merlos leans into one. Looking for Aguilar. Chance now for the Pirates. Smith in open field. Gets by Aguilar, but the Pirates maintain.
Bit of a crunching tackle there.
And no call. They will play on. Wilson working against Ibarra. Ibarra with the spin. Another good move from Ibarra toward the front of the goal. Aguilar there, but Gurney wins the race. Well, the Pirates seem to have made the adjustment, trying to put some more balls in the box. See if they can get something going there.
Yeah, they got two forwards, so they're not really getting as much. They got to get midfielders higher to support them.
And do they elect to run that risk and chase the win, as Capoletti has it at midfield?
At the way that the second half's gone, I would take a tie, but I would be disappointed because the first half they should have done got more out of it.
Your sense was they were closer to breaking through in that first half.
I thought Ventura College has got, you get 4 free kicks and you get 2 corner kicks. That's enough to get something dangerous out of it. But I think this half, it looks like Santa Barbara has a chance to maybe catch him with a big ball over the top because Ventura College is looking a tiny bit tired.
Smith tries to line it up, one at Ibarra. Now the Pirates do win it back, looking for the quick counter. But that back line stands up again for the Vaqueros.
I think if you weigh up the 2 halves so far, tie is probably fair right now. But it's like I said, I'm sure neither team wants to make one silly mistake.
Sanchez warding off Ralph. Trying to get it back from Ramirez. Pirates back in action next Tuesday, where they will be home once again to take on Moore Park.
He's made the sub to take Desire out on that right side. He'll get beat a little bit. Good potential adjustment.
After a long run, Ibarra on the near sideline and played out by Wilcox.
Yeah, Andrea's doing really well on the ball.
Well, Ibarra, we talked about Capoletti getting a little more active, but Ibarra with quite a few more touches here in the second half for the Pirates as well.
She's a skillful player. She does well.
Ramirez lobbing for the far side. It ends up with Arrieta. The turnaround sent wide.
Yeah, it's getting to that point of the game where you maybe just pump some balls in the box and see who makes a mistake. Santa Barbara plays short again.
Well, sometimes don't you think that it's possible that if you could get something on goal, you hope for a rebound or a ricochet or just a strange bounce that ends up with somebody?
Yeah, you put it in a dangerous area, and, sometimes as a defender, it puts you on your heels. It's not easy to deal with.
Clean steal. Ends up with Ralph, but the pressure coming and knocked out of bounds. Throw in coming for Santa Barbara here in the 83rd minute. Wilson will handle it.
That's where you got to clear it.
Merlos with a little trouble handling the ball with some spin on it, but does maintain. Galindo was looking for Flores, but the Pirates, with that pressure, were able to maintain possession before Arrieta lost it.
What a tackle.
Oh, that's a big collision. Micah and Capoletti. And Capoletti still down.
Yeah, she left a little bit of afters in that, but I don't think it was a foul.
Let's watch one more time. Good challenge from Sanchez. And Micah, the other center back, and has also done a good job defending that middle, working against Capoletti, who was a big concern for the Pirates. Wilson trying to play it in, but played right back out. Pirates content to set up. Capoletti battling Micah.
That's a soft foul for the ref to give. Those are the types of calls, though, that could change a game. She wasn't necessarily fouling her, and she got the ball still at her feet, and she was able to play it. It's just kind of a soft foul to give.
Haven't seen a lot of Capoletti being able to gain possession and start to make a move. Pirates have done a good job of taking that away. But this could be a tremendously important call as the free kick will come deep in Pirate territory.
They leave it an easy option to pass it to Capoletti's feet to just tap it in the goal. You got to plug someone in that pocket so you can't play a straight ball on the floor for everybody to run into.
Zermeno lobs for the front. Donnelly gets her hands on it, and it's cleared out. Well, that was free for just a moment in the box, but the Pirates were there. Meanwhile, Arrieta on a hard drive. Played out by McGuire. The Pirates want to move quickly.
Get a corner. Those are the types of saves that win you the game.
Arrieta.
Or a point.
Played into Galindo. Good challenge. Steal coming from Natalie Carranza. Carranza wins it back. That one should be off of Ralph, and a throw-in coming for the Pirates.
The ref actually hasn't done too bad of a job today, except for the one soft foul right now.
Ibarra hooking for the center, but can't find Arrieta. But Smith with the good close. Gets it back for the Pirates. They overshoot Flores. More good defense from Smith. Arrieta not on the same page with Ibarra. But the Vaqueros with all kinds of trouble maintaining possession. Long shot is wide.
This is when you're bringing Crystal Vargas up top, mix it up a little bit.
Haven't seen a whole lot of Vargas in the second half that I can recall. Certainly haven't been able to call the name too much.
Yeah, she started out, but they mixed it up.
Merlos wanted Arrieta. Sanchez, rather than risk playing that ball back any further, is going to just send it out of bounds. Willing to give the throw in here in the 88th minute. Lean Wilson will give way. It's Ralph who will handle the throw in. Fleck trying to split the double team. But they lead Ibarra too much. Zermeno will work it across. McGuire with the drive looking for Placido. Well, more and more looking like the Pirates and Vaqueros will walk away with a tie. And for week one for the Pirates, that would be a 1-0-1 and a solid start. You have guessed, I think, Joey, that Steve Hoffman would walk away from that result feeling pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, if it stays a tie, I don't think it's a bad result, to be fair. I mean, I think the first half, Ventura College looked better. Santa Barbara played it big. Second half, Santa Barbara started to connect and found the center forward's feet more often and played a bit more and got higher up the field. And their outside forwards looked a lot more dangerous. So maybe an even a tie might be fair.
It would be 4 straight meetings without a win for the Pirates in this particular matchup over the last couple of years. Between these two programs that know each other well, lob to the front of the goal, and again, Donnelly, good anticipation, closes quickly as we rapidly move toward what figures to be precious little extra time. A reminder on the VC Sports Network, we'll be back tomorrow night as Pirate football will return. Pirate American football. I always find this tricky, talking about our upcoming football coverage during football.
Well, you know why they call it football, right?
Do tell.
The ball's a foot long.
Capoletti looking for a lane, blocked at the point by Merlos. Perhaps as good a way to punctuate her effort tonight as anything, as she does a good job once again anticipating as Capoletti was moving right, looking to put it on her right foot for perhaps one more drive, but can't get the shot on goal nonetheless. The Vaqueros maintain possession here in the Pirate end. Sanchez tried to clear, but not all the way out, but Yahara Ramirez will. Back to midfield.
Yeah, maybe 3 to 5 minutes left. You just want to get out of your half and play safe.
Looking for Smith. Ibarra will bring it in. Get it back from Sanchez. They look for the long ball, but only white jerseys back.
Dangerous.
Oh, big collision. Smith, a little slow getting up, and that'll draw a yellow card. Might have been, was that Zermeno?
She just lucky it wasn't head-to-head. That could have been dangerous. I'd love to see Ventura College get numbers in the box and play a ball in the box.
Yeah, it was Gisela Zermeno. And again, more shoulder-to-shoulder contact, but a violent collision nonetheless. And a free kick coming for Yahara Ramirez.
You just want to put this just behind the backs to run onto.
Launched,
too far again,
but a little too much on it. And Gurney. And, you know, we've talked a little bit about Bella Donnelly and some good saves tonight, but it's been a busy night and a good performance from Gurney as well.
Yeah, she's done well.
And it will go final. No score, a 0-0 tie in the books. Pirates move to 1-0-1 in their conference schedule. They are 6-2-3 overall. Santa Barbara with the tie now 4-2-3. This their first conference game of the season. Joey Hoffman, thanks so much for joining us on our coverage here tonight. Didn't get a lot of offensive highlights in the playbook here, but a great pleasure to have you and a lot of fun up here on this one. That well, there was drama and there was some interest. If it wasn't scintillating offense.
And don't forget, it's nice to be important, but it's important to be nice.
Right, that's a bit of a mantra here at the VC Sports Network and SoCalCollegeSports.com. That will wrap up our coverage once again. 0-0. It ends in a tie, Ventura and Santa Barbara City College. And again, we'll be back tomorrow night on the VC Sports Network. Ventura football returning to action, taking on Santa Barbara City. We'll see you then. For everybody here at SoCalCollegeSports.com and the VC Sports Network, so long, everybody. Thanks for joining us.